Miranda sat hunched over her desk, a loose-knit sweater draped around her shoulders, her glasses sliding down her nose as she flipped another brittle page in the leather-bound tome. A single desk lamp cast long, flickering shadows across her study, amplifying the uneasy tension that had been growing in her chest since she began this deep dive. The 7 Hermetic Principles. She had read them before: cause and effect, correspondence, mentalism, rhythm, polarity, gender, vibration. Principles that, at a glance, seemed like philosophical musings rather than functional laws of reality. But tonight, they felt different, tied to something ancient, something lurking beneath the surface of known history. The book Doug had given her had no author, no publication date, yet referenced the principles as if they were not merely guidelines but commandments for an unseen priesthood. The Silent Order, as it was referred to in the brittle ink-faded passages, seemed to believe that mastery over these principles granted power, real power, not political or philosophical sway, but control over the fabric of existence itself. She exhaled sharply, irritated with herself for even entertaining the notion. It was nonsense, the same kind of pseudo-mystical garbage she had spent years debunking. And yet, there was something eerily precise in the wording, a hidden logic that teased her intuition rather than her reason. It gnawed at her, whispering of something she had overlooked. Miranda pressed her palms against her temples, squeezing her eyes shut for a moment. She had to be overthinking this. She was overtired, and she had been spiraling down this rabbit hole too long. Maybe Doug had infected her with his paranoia, and she needed to ground herself in something tangible. Still, her fingers hesitated over the book's pages, hovering above a particularly strange passage. The Silent Order does not seek worship, nor do they record their own names. They exist as shadows, walking the threshold of knowledge forbidden, ensuring balance remains. But in the days before the first deluge, they sought audience with those who dwell beyond, and in their arrogance, they invited the ruin of all. A chill slithered down her spine. The dwelling gods. She had seen that phrase before in the Bahama anomaly research, in half-buried references in other texts. But no credible academic source had ever acknowledged such beings in a meaningful context. It was always tied to fringe theories and tinfoil hat forums, yet here they were, referenced as if their existence was an undeniable truth to those who came before. Miranda swallowed, her throat dry. The book's fragile pages crackled as she turned to the next section, fingers trembling despite herself. The text continued, speaking of an event, a ritual, a summoning, or perhaps a catastrophic mistake. Something the Silent Order had done to tear open a threshold best left closed. Something that had nearly ended everything. A sharp knock rattled her front door, shattering the silence. Her heart slammed against her ribs as she jerked upright, the book sliding off her lap. She shot a glance at the clock. 2:17 a.m. Who the hell would be knocking at this hour? The shadows in her room suddenly seemed darker, the silence more oppressive. Swallowing hard, she stood, forcing herself toward the door, every instinct screaming that whoever, whatever was on the other side, was not supposed to be there. With hesitant fingers, she reached for the handle.